All right, everyone, the code is finally finished, and here it is. Hey, everyone, Happy New Year. I'm very excited to bring this GitHub repo to all of you, and I'm calling this one Dynamic Animal Behavior Analysis. Previously, I showcased the abilities of large language models to generate code for doing behavior analysis, and basically using large language models reasoning and code generating abilities to perform behavior analysis, customized behavior analysis using the DeepLabCut pose estimation files. So in this GitHub repo, what I've done is I've combined some of my previous Jupyter scripts into a set of standard analyses, which people who are not used to coding themselves, or they don't know how to read code or those type of things, will find very helpful, because it's point and click, and many of the analyses that I've bundled here are the ones that I also use myself and are fairly standard set of analyses that pretty much any behavior paradigm can use. And then the other thing is that I've bundled here code generation scripts. So people who are familiar with using large language models, in fact, I will demo in a bit how to set it up. And those people who are familiar with coding and have at least somewhat knowledgeable understanding of Python will find this useful for doing custom behavior analyses and asking large language models to generate a code which you can then go ahead and verify yourself and utilize it that way. Okay, so without further ado, let's download this. Okay, so once you download the GitHub repo, you're going to extract it to wherever you want to extract it. I will go ahead and move this one back into my downloads folder. Excuse me. So before doing anything, please make sure that you are using the latest version of the script. And I am going to be numbering them numerically like this. And we have to start by creating an environment, Anaconda environment. So I'm going to navigate over to my folder, and then from this folder, I'm going to type in conda env create -f, and then the name of this file. So this way you guys can see how to get started with this. So this is getting done. In the meantime, we can go ahead and download a llama. So navigate over to llama.com. You are going to download this for whatever system you're using. For the models, pick whichever model your computer can run. This is going to be only for those people who want to generate code or do custom or ask for custom codes. In my case, I'm using Llama 3.3, but I've modified this 70 billion parameter model to allow me to do custom analyses and to, basically I've modified it, fine-tuned it a little bit to be more in tune with the type of analyses that I need. Okay, so if you are an advanced user, if you are going to be using this for code generation, I'll have to make a separate video on how to modify the model file so that it's more tuned towards the DeepLabCut CSV files. But anyways, today I'm just going to demo this. I'll make another video for showcasing how exactly to use the code generation abilities in a future video sometime. So the environment is created, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this and paste it here. So this will activate the environment that I just created. So now that this is done, I'm going to type in Python and then the name of the latest file here. Oh, before I do that, actually, we need to set up our configurations. Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things to note here. You're going to provide your model name to this parameter here. In my case, I will be using llama 3.3 underscore DLC. So I've modified it. So this one is specifically for my use case with DeepLabCut. Okay, so in your case, whatever model you're using, large language model you're using, you're going to put that in here. The name of that model goes in here. Okay, so with that out of the way, I am ready to run the script. Okay, so I'm typing in Python, the name of the script, and .py extension. So with this, it will bring up the GUI, the graphic user interface. And for the sake of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and select code first, just to get that out of the way, because that will actually take a while. So clicking on the browse buttons for the CSV upload and behavior video upload, you can either type in the path to those files or use the browse button and just double click on the files that you want to bring in. If you don't already have defined your regions of interest, you can press on define regions of interest. A window like this will open up, and you can go ahead and click on these and press enter to close the last ROI section. Okay, so closing that out, and this time around I'm actually going to hit save so that my ROIs save, and I can just hit load ROIs next time instead of redoing my ROIs. This time over to code, and just to make sure that my llama server is running in the background, it is. So analysis description. Okay, so what I've asked it is that compute the total distance traveled by the animal's neck in the following ROI, and then I presented it with the ROI. Calculate only the distance when the animal's neck is inside the ROI. And I need to then provide it with an output path, and my output path is going to be the GitHub repo where I have my code running from. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the verbose for my llama server, and going to press the analyze, and then it should start to function in the background. Okay, so I have an OK from the HTTP, and the code has started to come out. So hopefully this won't take too long and will be done soon. I'm still going to pause the OBS at this point. So see you in a bit. When the code is finally finished, and here it is. And you can copy this and paste it in something like this. So let's see what it's doing. So up to this part is all fairly standard. Just parsing the body parts out here, and actually not bad. I would put in some error handling schemes also for body parts, or for frames that are missing body parts. So I would input that as an error handling methodology, but this will run nonetheless. This code will run, this will execute nonetheless, and provide the information that I was looking for, which is the animal's neck distance traveled in the ROI. And it's creating this input where I can add in the the coordinates for the region of interest that I want. So if I save it, I can run this on multiple ROIs later. Okay, so that is out of the way. So it has that functionality where if you have a good enough large language model on your local PC, that you can utilize it. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's move on to the standard set of analyses. So in the standard set, actually, let me close this out. In the standard set, there are a bunch of predefined analyses that I have incorporated in this graphic user interface and the Python script associated with it. These were already created as Jupyter scripts and available on my GitHub repo. I've just refactored them so that they work as a package. We can do a bunch of different things: time in ROI, distance in ROI, velocity, multiple body part analysis, entry, exit, speed per entry. Speed per entry is actually speed of the animal, average speed of the animal per bout of entry that it does in certain ROI. Event duration, the event here is referring to only one specific event, which is freezing behaviors, freezing events. And in fact, excuse me, in fact, let's start with that. And for the body part, we'll just pick the head midpoint and define our threshold for freezing. I don't know, what is that, like 10 frames. Then since I only have 2 regions of interest, I can run them one by one. So here it has identified 2 events of freezing behavior, and it tells you here the freezing analysis complete for head midpoint, total freezing duration 2 frames, or 2 events. Actually, this shouldn't say frames, but there are 2 events where the animal was frozen for at least 10 frames at least. So for the OA2, no freezing behaviors were detected at the threshold of 10 frames. Bunch of different analyses are available, including this transition analysis, and I will put here more than 2 regions of interest. Frame threshold, I'll leave this at 10. In fact, actually, I'll make it 30 because I think it's the frame FPS is 30 frames per second, so it should be 1 second for 30 frames. Okay, so the transition analysis complete, and it's telling me that from OA2 to OA1 region of interest, there were 13 transitions made, and then in the reverse order, there were also 13 transitions made. Zone preference is very similar to what it sounds like. It's just taking the time that the animals are spending in different regions and then just basically taking a ratio of the time that the animal is spending in different regions. So here it tells me time spent in each zone. This zone, that's the number of frames that the animal was present in this region. And then these are the number of frames that the animal was present in this region. And then down here, it's giving the proportion of time in each zone like this. Okay, so it's fairly self-explanatory. So 25% of the time animal is spending in OA2 and then 16.5% in OA1. So this way you can get an idea of what the proportion is for the zone that the animal is in. Path tracing actually outputs a video so you can pick whatever body part you want to track, and it will generate a video file, MP4 file for you. It will also have these ROIs created on top of the video. So if I click here, analyze, it's asking me in the terminal, do you want to draw the path of the video frame by frame? Yes or no. That ability is present for doing the path tracing. And you can pick whatever body part you want to basically trace with the regions of interest. So let's say you do entry count analysis, but then you want the video to manually verify. This way you can have the ability to do that. Okay, so anyways, this is the short demo for this GitHub repo. I have not made it available publicly yet, I'm still testing out some of the functionalities and kind of trying to optimize it. So currently the standard analysis and code generation are implemented. The LLM powered analysis with the multimodal LLMs will be coming out sometime at the end of the year or something like that. Depends on what kind of problems I run into. But the goal with this one, which is still under development, is to pass the pose estimations and the video frames to the multimodal large language models for inferences of underlying behaviors. So this way, the body part information as well as the total frame goes to the large language model. The model looks at the context of the frame, with all the background, with the orientations of different apparatuses of behaviors that are present in the frame, and with the orientations of body parts coming from the pose estimation. Then it will combine both that information plus several frames and the orientations from those frames into a cohesive behavior that might be happening over a set of time or set of frames. This is going to take quite a long time, but standard set of analyses are available and the code generation capacity is there, as long as you know how to use the large language models and how to basically get them prompted in a certain way to be able to give you a good enough answer. Okay, so that's it for this video. And if you have any questions, comments, please let me know. Thank you so much.